Welcome to another episode of the Harvey Hour. My name is Nathan Harvey. I will be joined by my dad in just a number of minutes. But I want to start off with something that I don't know if I'm going to be doing this, a lot, but I definitely wanted to start off at least today with doing it. It's going to be called Nate with No Filter, where I basically want to talk about a certain topic, a specific topic, or a specific player that has been in the news recently. And I'm going to start off with that being Aaron Rodgers. We all know Aaron Rodgers because, you know what? He played pretty poorly recently. He had a pretty bad loss, a 15-9 loss against the Detroit Lions. And I want to start by saying this. Aaron Rodgers, after the game inside the locker room, didn't really even hide his feelings. He said, quote, "We can't lose a game like that against that team." And as we know, the Detroit Lions are nowhere near a tremendously good team or anywhere near a good team, especially on defense, where they are ranked 32nd out of 32 possible teams. So, dead last. And something that always has surprised me when it comes to Aaron Rodgers is the amount of excuses he gets. Other great quarterbacks aren't as lucky to get a number of excuses that Aaron Rodgers does. Aaron Rodgers likes to deflect blame away from himself when he plays poorly and put it on other receivers, calling out his receivers after one drop, or maybe running the wrong route. Aaron Rodgers has always blamed other people. I was very surprised after this game he actually put some of the blame on himself, which I was shocked by that. Aaron Rodgers throughout the entire year has been told, he doesn't have a lot of talent. Why does an all-time great always have to have something that shocks me is that Tom Brady has had tremendous help. Well, has he always had great help? Or has he just had a number of receivers he made look really, really good? For instance, take Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan, when he was on the Patriots for a couple years, was a pretty good receiver, a great deep threat for Tom Brady. Even Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, they were never the same receiver pre or post Tom Brady. They were never that same level of clutch that they once were. Edelman, yes, he was broken down, but even when he was healthy playing with Cam Newton, it was never the same. Danny Amendola went on the Rams, on the Lions. Was he ever really the same? No. Chris Hogan bounced around in the NFL. I think he's playing lacrosse now. He's never the same. I take this, and I want to compare it because Aaron Rodgers throughout a lot of his career, and especially definitely recently, probably within the past 7 years, has always been compared to Tom Brady. If not, people are calling him better than Tom Brady. And I never understood that. Aaron Rodgers for the past couple years has always been talking about retirement. I don't know about my future. I'm not too sure where I'm going to go from here. Am I retiring? I don't know. Meanwhile, Tom Brady, when the thought of retirement came out, when there was just a little bit of a sniff at retirement, Brady, it was never from Brady. It was always a report of a retirement. Brady never actually came out and said it until it kind of broke how he was retiring and then eventually brought out a statement and then came back 40 days later. Because if you mention retirement, you're pretty much already done. So, and if you mention retirement, another point about that, if you mention retirement, your teammates are like, he's checked out. Or if you even hint at it, he's thinking about checking out. Even when Brady was down in the dumps in New England, right? People are calling him washed, can't play anymore. I think this is his last year. He never himself came out and said, I don't know about next year. I'm not too sure. The talent around me isn't good. I'll have to wait to see if, Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniel and Robert Kraft could surround me with some talent next year. Because, if my talent doesn't step up to my level, I don't think I'm going to be here. Sound like anyone? Number 12 in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers. Now I understand Aaron Rodgers could throw I would say not a significantly better, but a decently better football. He has a decent amount of arm talent, a really good amount of arm talent just compared to Tom Brady. It's not that big of a gap. So, at some point, your attitude is going to affect other people on your team. There was rumors about how him and his GM were feuding. He didn't have a great relationship with his former head coach and Mike McCarthy. Him and LaFleur had their own issues. I don't know what it is with Aaron Rodgers. His best receiver, who's the number one receiver due to their connect years, didn't even want to play with them anymore. First chance he got, he was out of there. And apparently there was reports saying that the Packers actually were shopping for Darren Waller and a number of other receivers at the trade deadline. They even went out and looked at TJ Hawkinson and offered him about the same. Chase Claypool and offered him about the same as the Bears, but the Bears didn't want to give him out to the Packers because they felt like the number or the pick would be greater on the Bears. So they traded him. Steelers decided to trade him. So I'm not surprised at all that Aaron Rodgers is, upset. And even first of all, I want to say this about the Lions game. That was just a disgrace on Aaron Rodgers. This is a perfect game because now people are saying, oh, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a lot of help. Look at all these drops. Yes, the Packers are the third-ranked team in drops. But this game shows you that it isn't all the receivers. Aiden Hutchinson, the rookie, had an interception. He never had an interception in high school, college, and this is his first in the NFL. So basically, in his entire career, he hasn't got an interception. But thanks to Aaron Rodgers, who almost never throws interceptions, take that as a souvenir. Because the dude that doesn't throw interceptions, he gave you one. And it was on like the 1 yard line. And the pass was intended to his tackle, David Bakhtiari. So I'm happy Aaron Rodgers had this sort of a game. And that team you said that you can't lose against, yeah, well, you lost against them. They're the 32nd ranked defense. And you put up 9 points. 3 of your interceptions, all 3 of them, came within the red zone. 2 of which came within 5 yards or fewer. This is a bad look for Aaron Rodgers. Bad look for Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he is great, but at some point you got to realize that, it wasn't a great idea giving him $50 million a year for 3 years. But the owner, or not the owner, but the organization realized, because the Packers don't have an owner, the organization realized, yeah, well, this is more so 3 individual year contracts, 3 1-year contracts. Because Aaron Rodgers, with the way he's playing, with the way his team is playing, with the way, he's acting and how he's been acting over a number of years, this is probably his last year. And I said this at the very beginning of the year. If he's not up to the standard he's been playing, because remember, he's a back-to-back MVP. God forbid if Tom Brady was a back-to-back MVP and he was playing like he is right now, fans in the media would be ripping on Tom Brady. He's a 45-year-old quarterback, but he was a back-to-back MVP. Tom Brady, yes, he doesn't miss OTAs that often or miss practices. Aaron Rodgers didn't feel like he needed to go to OTAs this offseason in the summer. Well, you had a bunch of new receivers they need to create rapport with. Yeah, look at your connection now. It's pretty ugly. It's pretty ugly. It's just bad because Aaron Rodgers, he took $50 million away, right? Because he doesn't want to take pay cuts because he's a very, very selfish player. He took $50 million a year for what? To make himself richer? I don't know what it is with Aaron Rodgers. I really don't. He's a great talent. But where is he now? When is he going to get held up to the standards that he created for himself? He's a back-to-back MVP. With Davante Adams. Did Davante Adams make him in the past 3 years? Well, it damn sure looks like it. He begged for Randall Cobb. Begged for him. Is he making an impact that Aaron Rodgers thought he would? No, I don't think so. Where is he? I think he was hurt some of the time. Alan Lazard, he has a bit of a drop issue. I mean, take a look at the Bucs last game against the Rams. Tom Brady in the past 3 years was never really even be able to beat the Rams. And you know what? He played pretty poorly against the Rams the past couple years. They had about 6 to 7 drops in the game against the Rams. But when it mattered, when all the cards were pushed to the table, Tom Brady had to throw to Scotty Miller down the line. Julio Jones, who I thought would be an insanely nice asset for him, who just for some reason can't stay healthy, he was out. He wanted to come back in, but the coach was like, nah. We're going to put in Scotty Miller and Brashad Perriman in instead of you. You think Aaron Rodgers, if he had Julio Jones, would do that? I want Christian Watson. I want Romeo Doubs over at Julio Jones. Nah, Aaron Rodgers would beg Julio Jones to stay in that game because he needs him, because he doesn't trust anybody. Brady, you know what? Against the Packers, he was throwing to his kickoff returner, his punt returner, Jalen Darden, because that's who he was down to. He did lose that game because the center wouldn't snap the ball. I'm not gonna put Aaron. I'm gonna hold Aaron Rodgers to what he said for himself. He's a back-to-back MVP. Doesn't throw a lot of picks. Throws a decent amount of touchdowns. I'm holding him to the same standard. He can't win the playoffs too, but no one wants to hear that because it was special teams. It was the 49ers defense. Well, what happened when he drove right down the field? First half, Aaron Rodgers was going off with Devontae Adams. Where was all that? I didn't see a lot of that. In the second half, where were the adjustments that the Packers made? Am I putting that on LaFleur? Maybe. Am I putting that on the special teams? I'm not going to put 100% on the special teams. Because Aaron Rodgers is a back-to-back MVP. He's a great player. So when is the accountability going to come? He likes to push all the blame to other people. I'm just wondering when he's going to finally take accountability for himself. Because I'm shocked how this was the first time in, what are we in, 9 weeks in? 9 weeks in, that Aaron Rodgers said, yeah, I played poorly. It is what it is. I'm shocked. And he's going up against the Cowboys, who he's beat over the course of several years. And now the Cowboys are going to absolutely crush them. And then he's going on to the Titans, who went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. And then he plays the Eagles. They're 8-0 right now. Then he plays the Bears. Justin Fields, 170 yards rushing. What happened there with Justin Fields? He's really, set himself up for greatness right now. Then they're on a bye week and play the Rams with Cooper Kupp. You think they can stop Cooper Kupp? I don't know. Maybe. Then Miami with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill against Melvin Ingram and that defense. I don't see a lot of success there. And then he plays the Vikings again. Yikes. Week 1 against the Vikings, 23-7. Just an ugly, ugly game for Aaron Rodgers. And then he plays the Lions again, the team that he says that, I can't believe we lost to that team. We can't lose against that team. Well, are you going to finally be able to beat them? I don't know. They're the 32nd ranked defense. And, you put up 9 points. 3 interceptions. All of which were your fault. It wasn't like it was a tip pass or anything like that. No, it was all on you. So I would like to just see accountability from the fans, from the Packers organization calling out Aaron Rodgers. Hey, our quarterback has to play better. Because look at Tom Brady. Bruce Arians, if Tom Brady made a mistake, even if it turned out it wasn't even Brady's fault, Brady would still get the blame for it. Bill Belichick in the locker room would rip on Tom Brady, even if it wasn't entirely his fault. Where's the same accountability going to go for Aaron Rodgers? Nah. It's his receivers. It's the drops. Where is his talent? The offensive line's beaten up. The defense is falling apart. The Packers had the number 1 rated pass defense in the league. They're right now at rank number 2. They couldn't stop Jared Goff and that team. The Lions can't score recently. So I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked because this was an all-time horrible performance for Aaron Rodgers. He was limited this week. I'm not going to, with a right finger injury, right thumb injury. I'm not going to say really anything about that because it seemed like, he was good enough to play, even though he's limited. Yeah, he did lose a couple players. Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, they're all hurt. Bakhtiari was out with an injury. So, teams have injuries. It is what it is. Look at the Ravens. They still won, 9 games last year with their entire team riddled with injuries? They had Tyler Huntley throughout some of that season. They still put up wins. Aaron Rodgers looks bad. And I don't see I already said way before, I said in the preseason, without Devontae Adams, the Packers would be nowhere near as good as they were last year, even the past couple years. I said they were missing the playoffs from the jump. And looking at how Aaron Rodgers is playing, where's the hope? Where's the motivation? I don't see nothing like that. Aaron Rodgers does not seem like a tremendous leader. Because a leader takes the blame, even if it's not his fault. A leader still takes the blame. Aaron Rodgers likes to diffuse the blame onto other people and not take it on himself. He went from playing off of this earth on ayahuasca and Percocet, to then dating someone named Blue of Earth, to now his performance is, what the hell on this earth are you doing, Aaron Rodgers? So, this is bad. Packers right now are 3-6. I'm taking a look at this here. They might win 2 more games. They may go 5-12. Because where's the hope? I'm giving them a Lions win and maybe a Bears win. But against the Cowboys and that defense, you're not winning. The Titans just went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes with Malik Willis completing like 5 passes. Then you got the Eagles who are 8-0. The Bears, I said you might have a chance, but with Justin Fields the way he's playing, it'd be hard to win there. The bye week, Rams, they're playing bad right now, but Jalen Ramsey against who? Christian Watson? I don't know. Then the Dolphins against that defense plus that offense. I mean, Tua's playing out of this world, 300-yard games. Then you go into the Vikings, who you just can't beat right now because they're just better than you. And then you play the Lions again. So right now I'm looking at you guys might go 5-12 at the best. At the best, because this team, and specifically Aaron Rodgers, they just ain't there. We're going to take a 30-second break, but then we're going to get on to our regular show with a bunch of new topics. You can see it in the title of the video, but we will be back in just 30 seconds.
Introducing video podcasts on Spotify.
Transform your storytelling into a show everyone can watch
or listen to.
Easily upload your video through Anchor, Spotify's free podcast creation tool.
So whether you're showing off a new recipe,
interviewing an exclusive guest,
or uncovering the next mystery,
you can now reach a whole new audience with Spotify.
Podcasting just became more than audio.
Create with Anchor, watch on Spotify.
Welcome back to the Harvey Hour. My name is Nathan Harvey, and as always, I'm being joined alongside my dad, Stephen Harvey. How are we doing today? Oh, we have a camera issue. We'll get on that in just a couple seconds. But you are here.
What?
Sorry about that.
I'm invisible.
I'm going to get working on that in just a second. But I do want to ask you about our first topic, which I'll bring up right now. We're talking about Tom Brady. He did get his revenge on the Rams, as you did predict, which I was genuinely surprised out because it looked like the Bucs were down and out through most of that game. So I just want you to know if you are here. We go.
There we go.
We got you up now.
Thank you.
I'll move to the screen now. I want to ask you right now if I can get to the screen, and there we go. Bingo, there you are. So I want to ask you, Tom Brady got his revenge. Was this the spark the Bucs needed to make them back into Super Bowl contention, or do you think there's still a lot of holes that they need to fill and a lot of problems they need to solve?
I'm not so sure about Super Bowl contention right now, but playoff contention, I'll give them that.
I was.
I mean, they're in first place in their division with a 4-5 record, but that means they're going to have to, if they get to the playoffs, they're going to have a tough road because they could be they'll be a lower seed.
Right.
They won't have a bye. Right? And there's only one bye nowadays, right? There's only the first seed gets the bye. So their chances for a bye are gone. They don't have that. So I'd say there was a spark for them. I do think it makes them more confident. You could see how happy Brady was at the end of the game. He was hugging the offensive coordinator there, and he's waving to the fans at the end, put the fingers up, victory up there. I thought it was great. It was a great game. Actually, it was pretty boring there for quite a while because
Right.
they couldn't get at. They just couldn't do anything. They were having such a hard time. You could see how frustrated they were that they weren't able to move the ball down the field. But then with when there were only 44 seconds left, no timeouts, they had that big play right down the middle, right? And then 2 plays to the sideline, and they were right down there. Right, and then they had a pass interference call in the end zone, and put him on the 1-yard line, and then he threw that pass to the tight end. That was great. It was great. It was really something. And the Rams, man, that took the air out of their balloon. They were shocked. They were shocked. That was vintage Tom Brady.
Yeah,
coming back at the end like that with all odds against them. I bet the percentage of winning there. Right?
I looked it up.
What was the percentage?
It was 10% chance to win.
10% chance, even that high. I'm surprised it was that high when you had no timeouts.
Yeah.
Right? And you had a long way to go.
It was they need to go 60 yards. 60 yards to score.
Yeah.
So 10% chance at 60
yards. That was
yards.
vintage Brady. That was vintage Brady. You saw that in his younger years. So you haven't seen much of it lately.
Right.
But that was vintage Brady. I think that's a spark for the team. I do think that they'll play better now, and they have to go to Munich now. They have to play in Munich.
Yeah.
That could be a little weird, right?
It's the first game in Germany in NFL history.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool to see.
Yeah, it will be cool. And Tom Brady over there, too, right? That's a treat for the German people to have him, the best player in all time.
I think that's why they did it. They're going to put Tom Brady in Munich.
Yeah.
But
And they're playing, who are they playing again?
they're playing the Jaguars.
Yeah. Well, they should win that game.
They should.
They should win it.
They should.
And I think they'll be pumped up for that game. Did they get any of their injured players going to be coming back anytime soon,
Well,
particularly on the
Julio
offensive
Jones.
line? Julio Jones is, I don't know, that guy. He's hurt all the time.
Well, he got hurt in this game, and at the very, very end, I don't know if you saw, but he was trying to get back in the game, but the coaches would not let him in.
Yeah.
And I think that could be a little bit of Brady, though, because I didn't realize this. Scotty Miller ended up with the most catches in that game.
Yeah.
And I was surprised by that.
He
'cause
was key at
he
the
got
end.
like 4 at the very end of
At
it.
the end, he was clutch. Yeah.
But I don't know, because they still have Russell Gage, who isn't out this week. The offensive lineman, Luke Gedeke, who's had severe problems on his offensive line. He was out this game. Winfield, their safety, was limited, didn't play. I'm sure he'll be back. He's dealing with a concussion. And then Cameron Brate, it seems like he has a serious neck injury because he went out last week with a concussion.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it might be serious, but...
The offensive line is where they need some people back because their running game stinks, man.
Yeah.
This was all Brady. He threw how many passes? He threw over
58 passes, I want to
58
say.
passes. So you can't win consistently like that. You got to have some run game. And they know that. They tried the run game. It just didn't work.
20 attempts for 51 yards, no touchdowns. The Rams didn't fare much better. 24 rushes, 68 yards.
Yeah.
But as always, the last time, because this year we've seen Brady be, it's crazy. This has been a recurring theme throughout Brady's entire career. Is he stays? I don't know how the hell it happens, but he stays extremely calm with like a minute remaining left of the game, no timeouts. You need a touchdown to score. We saw that against Aaron Rodgers. The offense, for some reason, the offense was horrible throughout most of the year at that point. And then when they needed to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, it was just boom, 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 boom. And then we're talking about with 4th string, 5th string receivers at that point. The last time we saw it was probably week 17 against the Jets last year. They had a huge comeback against the Jets. And there's like 2 minutes remaining, no timeouts. Brady just goes all the way down. That's the game. AB decided to peace out his NFL career. Brady goes down there and wins against the Jets on a walk-off to, I'm forgetting his name right now. Cyril Grayson. That's who it is. So, would I say this is the Sparta game to Super Bowl contention? No. Because, once again, they still don't have a run game. They have nowhere near a run game. They are still ranked dead last in rush yards and yards per attempt.
The defense is not great either.
Their defense, they played a little bit better. They stopped the run a little bit better than they have been. Because in the past couple games, let's just say, starting with the Ravens. Ravens rushed 231 yards against them. The Panthers rushed 173. The Chiefs rushed 189. The Falcons rushed 151. These teams were running the football against them, and then they finally had a good... This is their best rushing defense game since week 3 against the Packers with 68 rushing yards. That's how many they gave up. The Rams have issues. The Rams have a lot of issues. That offensive line is bad.
They're bad this year.
The defensive line with Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd.
I think that might have been it for them, that game, not winning it against Tampa.
But both of these games, or both these teams, this was a must-win for them.
I mean, in their division, you have Seattle in first place, so that could change, right? But you have San Francisco.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not Jacksonville. It's Seattle that they're playing in Munich.
Oh, Seattle.
Seattle. They're playing in
that's a little tougher opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a very tough opponent.
Yeah.
That's going to be a toss-up game, I think.
You think it's a toss-up. I'm going to get into this later. The Bucks are 10-point favorites.
Are you kidding?
10-point favorites. As of today, the odds should swing, but I will bring it up. I checked earlier today before the show. They are 10. Yeah, here we go. 10-point favorites against Seattle.
I don't know how. I don't think that.
I'm picking Seattle
spread.
plus 10. I'm picking Seattle plus 10.
I think it'll be closer than that.
Oh yeah, I think it will because
I mean, have they been watching Geno Smith play?
Yeah,
playing great.
Same thing with how the Seattle +2 at the Cardinals beat them by 10.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into the wins and losses, and we'll get into the issues that have to deal with that. But like you said, the NFC West, you have the 49ers, you have the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray's 0-2 since Call of Duty released, so Call of Duty Kyler seems to be here right now. You have the Rams, who have a lot of issues. It's Cooper Kupp or bust at the moment.
They have no offensive line.
The offensive line, Andrew Whitworth, who's like 40 years old.
They should bring him back.
Yeah, he's 40 years old, and you see the impact once you drop a 40-year-old offensive lineman out of the rotation. It's bad. Your defense is nowhere near where it was last year. Jalen Ramsey, number 1 cornerback, since when? He's getting roasted. And we saw that in week 1. The Bills were attacking him over and over and over again. I don't know if I still have the clip up, but I have a video of Josh Allen just putting it in front of Jalen Ramsey. Making him say, come get it. Aaron Donald's not getting the amount of pressures as I thought he would. Leonard Floyd's not being that type of dude. Bobby Wagner, who I thought this defense would be insanely good.
Well, I think the defense played pretty good they played well against Tampa right up until the end. Right? They played very well against Tampa right up until the end.
Well,
they were putting a lot of pressure on Brady.
Lack of Tampa's
they put
offense?
a lot of pressure on Brady. You know, that Aaron Donald was right in there. He was playing well. So I think that the Rams, because the Tampa Bay offensive line stinks, so that had something to do with it. So I don't think it was the Rams defense playing so poorly. It's just they stepped up their game right at the end there and moved it right down the field. The Rams weren't ready for that.
What about those 6-7 drops the Bucs had?
I know.
It was insane.
That's bad.
Scotty Miller had a wide open touchdown, and he decided to pogo jump up in the air.
It hit him in
the face, man.
And bounced off.
Because he doesn't trust his hands, so he has to body catch it, which is what a lot of receivers that aren't that great do. Instead of catching it with your hands, you want to catch it with your body to
he caught it with his face.
Yeah, he caught it with his face. It was almost picked off.
Yeah.
And Brady had to force it in there. They stopped him on 4th down, and Jalen Ramsey was very, very particular about his words in the end of the game. He was saying how the defense should have never gone back on the field after they stopped the Bucs on 4th down, because it's the offense's job to at least get a 1st down. And they ran it 3 straight times, and because they did that in the last time they played the Bucs too. They were like, you know what, we're gonna do this. I guarantee you won't be able to stop us. So we're just gonna run down your throat and win. And they tried 3 times, came up short. Brady got with 44 seconds left, 10% chance to win. Drove all the way down there. Cade Otton, with
him, he's never. He has the mindset. I'm never out of it until the clock runs out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you could see that he was talking with Leftwich over there on the sideline when there was about a minute and a half left.
Right.
And they were plotting their strategy when they got the ball back, and it worked. Yeah, it was great. It was great. That was a great game.
It was a tremendous game, and I expect this to at least be a spark to get them winning a number of games. But still, though, their schedule is brutal. You thought the Seahawks might be an easy win. Well, apparently to Vegas, it's a 10-point spread.
I don't think that's an easy win. I don't think it's an easy
win.
Well,
we thought at the very beginning of the year it would be an easy win because we thought the Seahawks going for the first round pick.
Yeah, but Seattle is a pretty good team.
And then the Browns, Deshaun Watson won't be back until the following week.
I think they'll beat the Browns.
But if they can't stop the run, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt will run down their throats. That's the thing to be afraid of.
They'll have to figure that out.
Then
I think they have a good chance there. I think they'll beat the Saints. The Saints played terrible against the Ravens.
It was bad. Andy Dalton is yikes.
When is Jameis Winston coming back?
That's a good question. I'll see if he was on the injury report for this week.
I got to believe they're going to bring him back.
According to this injury report, is he put on IR? I don't think he is. He was healthy.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on the injury report.
I bet he'll be back in there now because Andy Dalton he's not going to lead to many victories. No.
I didn't expect him to at the very beginning of the year, but you have the Saints who, you know what? Brady's had a tough time playing against that Saints defense. You got the 49ers who depends on if
that'll be a tough game.
That will be a very tough game. Then you're up against the Bengals with that explosive offense. Game. The Cardinals, we'll see how Kyler Murray plays.
That may not be so tough.
It's a Sunday night game. So Brady doesn't do that well in prime time. So that's something to pay attention to. Then you're up against the Panthers. Will P.J. Walker still be the starter?
They should beat them this time.
And then you're up against the Falcons, who
they should beat too.
So I don't know. The future right now after the game against the Rams, especially with the way Tom Brady was able to play. I'm not saying it's there, but it's The light is not off like I thought it was. The light is dim right now. Very, very dim. But I think it's time we move on to our next topic right here. We're talking about the Sunday night football game, Chiefs, Titans. That game, I was a little bit surprised with how well the Titans played. But I want to ask you, because the score was 20-17. They were able to get the win in overtime. Mahomes threw for 446 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. On a scale of 1 to 10, how impressed were you with Mahomes' performance?
10.
10? Why 10?
Yeah. He was everything for them. Without him, they would have lost the game. Right? He had to play. They had him time running out. The ball way back on, I think, the 20-yard line. They need to get almost to the 50 for a first down. And he dropped back, nobody open, runs around a little bit, tries to see if someone's open, nobody there, runs for first, gets the first down, right? Then he engineered the touchdown, right? And then he ran in for the 2-point conversion to tie the game. Hey, that's big. That's big. Without that, they would have lost that game. I give the Titans a lot of credit. I think they're a playoff team now. I really do. The way their defense played against the Chiefs, who have that explosive offense and only give up that many points, I'm sure they're disappointed they lost that game, but I think they'll definitely be a playoff team.
So you give Mahomes' performance on a scale of 1 to 10 on your impressive
446 yards passing.
You'd give him a 10.
I give him a 10.
I give him a 6.
What was his quarterback rating?
His QBR.
Game? Yeah.
I'll look it up. But on a scale of 1 to 10 for me, I'll give him a 6. This was a team that they were 12.5-point favorites against.
Well,
and
that was wrong.
And they won by 3.
Yeah.
Mahomes he did throw for 446 yards on 68 attempts. You should pass for over 400 yards on 68 attempts.
Well, how many did he complete?
43 of them.
Not bad.
Drew Bledsoe. I looked this up because I was just curious about. Here, I'm going to bring it up again because I don't have it up right now. November 13th, 1994. Drew Bledsoe passed 70 times. Oh, won't you look at that? 43 of 68 for Mahomes. 45 of 70 for Drew Bledsoe. So what is that? Isn't that the same percentage?
Pretty close.
Well, if Mahomes completed 2 more passes, it would have been exactly the same.
Yeah.
Drew Bledsoe also threw for 400 yards, as he should, because he threw it 70 times.
Yeah.
If you're telling me you passed,
did he win the game?
Yeah, they won 26-20 over the 7-3 Minnesota Vikings that year. Patriots were 4-6. Malik Willis threw it 16 times, completed 5 passes. Because guess what? Right now he's not good. First of all, he's a
quarterback
rookie.
is the Achilles heel of the Titans.
He had a 71.4 rating. That was his QBR.
For Mahomes?
Mahomes, 71.4.
No.
Not great.
You know what? They won the game.
That's
what it's all about. Doesn't matter at the end of the game what the stats say. Is that the only one that matters the most is whether it's a W or an L. And he got the W, and they wouldn't have got it without him. That's why I give him the 10.
I give him a 6 because when you throw 68 times, you should pass for over 400 yards. That I'm not surprised about. Because I was taking a look at it, and I was thinking, is he really about to pass Drew Bledsoe's record that has stood for almost 30 years?
How do you get a 100 quarterback rating? If you pass for 446 yards, you have a touchdown.
We get 71.4.
2-point conversion. You know, you do basically it all. How do you get a higher rating? What do you have to do to get a high rating?
Because it determines the strength of the defense you're up against. It determines your talent around you. ESPN. QBR is an ESPN only fact, or it's a ESPN only stat. So they have their own calculation system, but it includes.
Well, then they underestimated the Titans defense. The Titans defense played a fantastic game against an offense that has multiple weapons and has been explosive all season.
Well, you say that. They have the 30th ranked passing defense in the league. Their rushing defense is second. They have the 31st ranked offense in the league. This Titans team is not great when it comes to passing, both on offense and defense.
On offense, I agree.
The 30th ranked pass defense. So if you take a look, if you break it down a little bit, they have the 22nd ranked total defense.
Well, that's part of the reason why Mahomes got 446 yards passing.
Right, so that's why I'm saying it's a 6 out of 10. Because there's a reason why the Chiefs were 12.5-point favorites.
I give him a 10.
And I picked Chiefs minus 12.5. That's on me. And I've been saying I will never pick a plus. And I said,
Did I have them covering the spread?
You had Titans plus 12.5. I'm pretty sure. We have the graphic up, and I'll put this up. Actually, I can do it now. Yeah, you had Titans plus 12. So we're taking a look here, and we'll get into our picks a little bit later. But I said I will never pick double-digit point favorites again. And I told you before the Titans game, if the Titans cover this 12,
you did it twice, I think.
I'm pretty sure I did do it twice, but I told you if the Titans cover, I will never pick a double-digit leader again.
Okay, well,
and the Titans
that
cover.
happened.
So I'm now going to pick, and that's why Seattle plus 10. I'm picking them because there's no reason for it. And there's a lot of 9.5 picks. They're not double digits. I'll still pick the favorites in some of them, but. When I'm taking a look here, Mahomes, yes, he threw 446 yards. He was the leading rusher, and he ran for 6 times for 63 yards. The Titans, they played great, but it was the offense was
That
just
QBR
horrible.
formula is screwed up.
He only had an 80.9 passer.
Is there other metrics for quarterback? I thought
there's
another score.
There's passer rating.
Yeah, what's the passer rating?
He had an
for?
80.9 out of 158.3.
Wow. That seems low.
Well, he also had an interception because it includes your attempts, completions, touchdowns, interceptions.
Yeah, I didn't have many touchdowns. That's probably why.
Yes. If I have it here, Mahomes in totality of the NFL is ranked 4th in passer rating. Below Tua, Jalen Hurts, and Geno Smith.
Well, I'd say by the end of the season, he'd probably be the first. He'll be number 1.
He does lead the league in passing yards. He does lead the league in touchdowns and does lead the league in yards per game. So he leads the league in a lot of stats. He is 2nd in QBR for the totality of the season.
I picked them getting to the Super Bowl, and I think I'm feeling pretty good about it right now.
I think you should because they're playing really well right now. And I had them actually 2nd in their division behind the Chargers. The Chargers, they look so questionable. They barely got the win this past week against the Falcons.
They're shaky.
They're very shaky. But I did end up picking the Chiefs to win the division in my Week 8 picks, and those are the solidified picks.
I did it from Week 1.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I give Mahomes this performance a 6. Because I give him, this would be what? A B- if we're doing letter grades.
Yeah.
I give him a B to a B- because
A+ from me.
I'm not going to say this entire team was just bad because they can't run the football. And they abandoned the run too.
I think they've abandoned the run, but more than that they can't run.
Yeah.
They have some good running backs.
Yeah. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jerick McKinnon, who's sort of a pass-catching back, but he still could run the football. I mean, this offense for the past 2 weeks has been strictly Derrick Henry for the Titans. Malik Willis, I think he's completed what? I want to say 10 passes out of 26 attempts the past 2 games. And you're telling me this went to overtime with him completing 5
Well,
passes.
they also have Derrick Henry.
And guess what? He had 1 catch that was 48 yards.
No, but Derrick Henry is how many yards do you have on the ground?
17 carries for 115 yards.
Not bad.
This the time of possession was
What was the time of possession?
shockingly high. The Chiefs had 41 minutes compared to 26 that Tennessee had.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. The Chiefs' defense played up to what it should have, allowed the Titans to only go 1 of 11 on 3rd down. A lot of that, I think, is in part to Malik Willis. It would be 3rd and 10 because Malik Willis would try to run, get a yard or 2 maybe, then try to pass it 2-3 times, and just can't do anything. He had a couple very, very nice throws, but just overall, Malik Willis at this current moment is not ready to be a starter. And I don't know, will he be? Yes, he's a rookie. But just by the way, you know what? Maybe this.
How high was he drafted?
I think he was a top 20 pick.
Was he really?
Yeah, because the Titans drafted him with I think they're actually.
So he's supposedly to be a quarterback of the future then. If you drank right, if you.
Let's see. I
draft him
want to
that
make sure.
high.
I want to make sure I'm right about this. I'm sorry. It was a 3rd round pick.
Third round pick. Okay, well,
86th
still.
overall. 86th overall.
Yeah.
I mean, still though. Yeah, I mean, okay. I will cut him some slack because he played for Liberty. Liberty is not like a tremendous football quarterback school.
The Patriots
but-
won a game last year when the quarterback only threw 3 passes. Right.
They beat the Bills.
Beat the Bills too.
And then what
So,
happened? And
that's-
then what happened the next 2 times they played the Bills?
They got crushed, unfortunately.
Josh Allen and that Bills offense did not punt once in 2
I know.
games.
It's crazy.
I'm very impressed with the way the Chiefs defense played against the Titans, because the Titans, you know what? They showed up the past couple of games. But the offense did what it should have done. At least Mahomes did what he should have done. And that's put up numbers when you throw it 68 times and you complete 43 of them. You have 446 yards. That's what should happen. That's what should happen. And there's a reason why, he's 71.4 QBR. It's because the Titans ain't all that. They are something. They're probably going to win the AFC South because the Colts look horrible. Jaguars are disappointing. The Texans are a failure.
Yeah.
So this is an easy division.
Yeah, they should win it.
They're 5-3 now. The Titans, do I have it up right now? The Titans are going to go on to play the Broncos next.
They should win that.
Titans should win. And they play the Packers, which I think
They should win that.
they should. Bengals, Eagles, Jaguars. Jaguars should be the only win there.
The Jaguars, yeah.
Chargers, Texans, Cowboys, Jaguars. Texans and Jaguars are your most likely wins. Although the Chargers defense, when it comes to rushing defense, not great. Not great. We saw that against the Falcons. But we're going to move on to our next topic. And we're talking about the Jets and the Bills, because you talk about failure. That Bills team is a failure. You talk about all on one person. Yeah, well, that's Josh Allen, and that's the Bills. Because right now, it's Josh Allen or bust. You think it's Mahomes or bust? Mahomes has Travis Kelce. Mahomes has Juju Smith-Schuster, who seems to do really well this year. I understand. He was part of the Steelers.
Well, Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Gabe Davis. He's one of the most inconsistent receivers ever. Because one game he goes out, has a tremendous game. The next one he goes out and puts up like 40 yards on like 6 catches. So the Jets did have an upset win over the Bills, 20-17. The running game seemed to be there. Michael Carter, I think, ran for about 76 yards, I want to say. I can bring it up right now. But as of right now, the Jets, they look really good this year. Do the Jets have a chance at winning the AFC East?
No.
Why not? Why don't you think so?
Just because they're the Jets. I don't think they have a chance to win the AFC East. They're going to, wait, they're going to have some problems here. Zach Wilson, he's inconsistent. I actually picked him early in the year. I thought he'd be much better than he's been.
You put him at number 10.
I had him at number 10. I thought he was going to, based on the way he played at the end of last year, I thought he'd come out gangbusters, He's made some stupid mistakes, terrible mistakes. And I just don't think the Jets, they're going to get there. I don't think they're going to win the AFC. They might get a wild card. They may be. Maybe there's a chance, but it's interesting because the AFC East is very competitive this year, right?
I'm sure.
Those teams, there's a lot of wins in that division, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a winning record. The Patriots at 5-4 are in last place, and they could have moved up if the Bills had beat the Jets would be in last place, but it didn't happen. So we have interestingly enough, the Jets are on a bye, and so are the Patriots, and then they play each other in Foxborough. So that should be a good game, I think. And the Bills, I think that Josh Allen, for all the laudatory talk about him, how wonderful he is and everything, he can mess up. And you've seen it in the past.
Yeah.
He throws some interceptions.
That first interception, I don't know where the hell that was going.
He knew it, at the end. He blamed himself for the loss. So he does make mistakes. He can make some mistakes. I've seen him make some terrible mistakes playing against the Patriots in the past. He's improved a lot, I will say that, and largely because he runs the ball every once in a while. That keeps the defense off balance. And and he's a good quarterback, no doubt, but he can make mistakes, and he can lose a game for you that he probably should win. And he did it last weekend.
He had no touchdowns throwing the ball. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. He ran 9 times for 86 yards.
What was his QBR?
I can bring that up right now. But he had like I said, like you see on the graphic here, he had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That first interception was, you talk about ugly interceptions. That was one of the ugliest interceptions. I don't know who did he not see the linebacker there. I don't know what he was seeing. But it was just a bad interception. He's 64.3. Zach Wilson had a higher QBR than Patrick Mahomes. 76.4. And a higher passer rating than Mahomes as well. 101.1.
Josh Allen did?
No, Zach Wilson.
Oh, Zach Wilson did. Had a higher passer than that.
And QBR.
Those stats.
Well,
are
no, because
wacko.
you have to realize it's strength of the defense you're playing against. The Bills have a top 3 defense. You know, it's the competition, the weapons comparison to who you're playing against. So it all matters. The Jets were able to run the ball pretty well, though. They had 2 running backs.
Well, didn't Zach Wilson, he fumbled the ball, though, right? He had a fumble.
Yes, he did. He lost the fumble.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson also had a fumble, but he did recover it. Michael Carter and James Robinson, 15 carries for about 114 yards, 124 yards.
The Jets have a decent running game.
Their defense is their sparkle right now. They can get to the quarterback. They have a pretty good pass rush. I'm very, very surprised by that. CJ Mosley had a great game. Sauce Gardner, he's what, 6'4", I want to say? He's huge. Corners are like 5'9", 5'10". Sauce Gardner coming out here at 6'4".
Yeah.
This dude's a monster. He's like 210 pounds, I want to say. He's an absolute beast.
They drafted well. The Jets have built a team now, and I still think they're questionable at quarterback.
They are. And the New York Jets fans on The Fan do not like Zach Wilson. Someone made a comparison. We were listening to it. Someone made a comparison between him and Steve Young, and I thought that's
ridiculous. So the only comparison there is they went to the same college.
Yeah,
that's
the BYU, Brigham
Yeah.
Young. Sauce Gardner, though, I want to stay on him for a second. He has the most pass deflections in the league with 13 pass deflections. So people are trying him. They're just not getting to I mean, on some plays, on like the first play, he got burned by Stephon Diggs. But since then, Stephon Diggs was really just a no-show. I think he put up like 90 yards or something like that. But it was essentially for
90
nothing.
90 yards is pretty good.
It was essentially for nothing, though. Because he didn't score a touchdown. There's no receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, well.
So Sauce Gardner right now, he's a top corner in the game right now. I would put him probably top 5 in the entire NFL right now in cornerbacks, maybe even top 3.
Oh yeah,
he's playing well. I mean, there's nothing to say about it.
Better than Jonathan Jones.
Jonathan
Jones had an interception for a pick 6 last week and a blocked punt.
Right.
Not bad.
No, I gotta give it to him. So right now, if we're taking a look at cornerback ratings, and I'll try my best to get this up. It's Sauce Gardner on PFF, who likes to grade positions. I'll try to bring it up here. Cornerbacks. They have, I believe Jack Jones is still the number 1 rated cornerback in the league.
Really?
But Sauce,
I find that hard to believe in a way. I do think he's good, but he doesn't play every play. They rotate. The Patriots play all of their cornerbacks and safeties. They rotate them in and out. So they don't all play except for Devin McCourty. He's in there every play. The rest of them, they're all rotating in and out. So it's I think it's hard to rate one of them number 1. I think they have some very good cornerbacks. That's one of Belichick's strengths. He always has a very good secondary.
Right. Well, according to Pro Football Focus, he has the highest coverage rating. He doesn't have a great rushing defense rating, but Sauce Gardner, as I would have probably thought, like I said, top 3, he's ranked 3rd, below Jalen Ramsey and Jack Jones. So, like I said, he's up there. The Jets played really well. I have to give it to the Jets.
Who comes after him?
I'm not sure because you have to pay for Pro Football Focus Plus to get all the ratings and everything like that. Everything is a paywall nowadays. But I don't know. The Bills have a lot of issues. I said on the last show.
You think they have a lot of issues?
I do. Because right now Josh Allen has to be
the number 1 defense.
Dude, I'll check right now. I don't think number 1.
Yeah,
number 4.
Is it number 4 now?
Actually, number 7 in passing defense, number 6 in rushing defense.
Oh,
so
slipped a little bit then.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I'm saying, I said this on the last show. The Bucks,
the running game stinks.
That's what I was about to say. The Bucks, the Rams, the Bills, and even somewhat of the Chiefs all have issues, and they cannot run the football very well.
That could come back to haunt them.
And I guarantee you it will, because look at Josh Allen now. He can't run the football. The entire team just sucks. The Bills, just for some reason, I don't know what it is. They can pass protect pretty well because
the record is 6-2, so they don't totally suck.
Well, I mean, if you talk about run blocking, then they're not great. They are not great at all. Just for some reason, I don't know what it is about this team. Josh Allen is their only true rusher. Devin Singletary, I wouldn't say he's a bad back at all. It's just that you don't see it because they can't run the ball very well. Like I said, Josh Allen put up 86 yards rushing here. The next highest was Devin Singletary with 24. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
They had James Cook, brother of Dalvin Cook.
Well, I'd
4
like to
carries,
see the
15
Bills
yards.
lose a few more games, so when the Patriots play them, they have a chance to move up in the standings.
Well, they're what, a game and a half behind? 6-2 to 5-4.
Yeah,
So that's
two games.
Yeah, well, game and a half because
How's it a game and a half?
because it's what, 1 win and 2 losses.
in terms of the
If you're comparing-
conference
Yeah, well,
conference play,
the Bills are 6-2.
the division play. I should
New
say.
England's 5-4. So 1 win would make them 6-4. 1 loss would make the Bills 6-3.
Oh,
half game.
it's the fact that the Bills have had their they're 6-3 and the Patriots are 5-4, right?
Bills are 6-2.
6-2.
So it's a
And the
game.
Patriots are 5-4.
Yeah.
So they're 2 games behind in the loss column.
Well, wouldn't it be? Well, yeah, 2 in the loss column, but only 1 in the win column. So wouldn't that? I'm not too sure.
Maybe
But
that's a half. Game,
in my mind, that would make sense. But it might be 2 games. But like I said, this Bills team, without running the football, not giving Josh Allen some flexibility with his offense, because if you can't run the football, the play action isn't going to be there. It doesn't open up more. Doesn't open up. I would say a crucial part of a lot of offenses is the play action. So to answer the question though of do the Jets have a shot at winning the AFC East?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I do.
You do.
Because think about it. They beat the Bills once. They beat the Dolphins once. If they beat the Bills twice, who's going to be in their way?
Yeah, well, they're going to be playing the Bills at the Bills.
That's going to be bad. That's going to be
Right.
bad. But by then, I don't know. The Jets might win a couple because right now the Jets are a half game out.
And the Dolphins, did they beat the Dolphins at the Dolphins?
No, at Jets.
No, at Jets.
They-
Well, those games are on the
They
road now.
crushed them though. They crushed the Dolphins, 40-17.
The Jets play the Patriots on the road too. They've got the next 3 opponents. Do they have anybody at home in the division the rest of the way? Are they?
Who are the Jets?
Yeah, I
No.
don't think so. No. So that's not in their favor. That's for sure. Right?
Well, right now they have won every single game on the road. They're undefeated. They've played 4 road games. They beat the Browns, Steelers, Packers, Broncos. Undefeated on the road right now.
Yeah. Well, the combined record of those 4 teams is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the best one would probably be Green
I'd say
Bay.
their first road loss is coming next week.
Maybe.
Not this Sunday, but the following week.
Maybe. Patriots. They should beat them, but
That's a must-win for the Patriots. I'm sorry. If they think they're going to the playoffs, they're going to win that game.
yeah.
And I'd say the Patriots need to find more offense. They're going to burn out their defense. Their defense is good, but when they're out on the field all the game, that's going to wear them down. And Mac Jones needs to get his head in the game a little better. He's out there, and I don't think sometimes he doesn't seem to know what the hell he's doing. He's lucky on that in the game against the Jets. He threw the intercept right to the guy.
Right.
And he's lucky he got roughed in the passer roughing, or that would have been a pick 6. Could have been a different outcome in that game, And last week he paid okay, but not good. I just think their offense is
The defense saved them. 9 sacks.
yeah, and the offense is Ramondre Stevenson. He's the big player there.
Yeah.
Right? He catches out of the backfield well, and he runs the ball well. He's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to Damian
Harris.
He's
dealing with injuries.
He wasn't even active, I don't think. They had that Taylor guy in there. He wasn't very good.
No. Well, he's a 3rd, 4th string running back, so you can't have tremendous expectations for him. We're going to move on to our next topic, though, which is indeed our Week 9 recap, and we don't have the wins and losses because I'm dealing with currently technical
I thought we were
difficulties.
going to speak about Frank Wright.
We will.
Okay.
That'll be after our recap because I actually have another
Okay.
topic. Aaron Judge and the
Oh,
Fox Sports has released their odds on where Aaron Judge will be the favorite to pick up Aaron Judge. So we are gonna start on our.
You
Sorry about that. We're going to start on our week 9 matchup, wins and losses. We don't have the wins and losses here, but I will break them down for everyone here. You included that. I have it right here. Let's begin with our first matchup, which is we already talked about this before, but the Texans Eagles. Texans did cover, or the Eagles. What I have it here, but I can't find it. Who covered that game? Was it the Eagles? Yeah, no. Texans did cover. Right. It was what was the score of that game? 38 to
19 or something. I thought it was. They didn't cover the Eagles didn't cover.
There's
right.
29-17. That's what it was. That was what it was. So yeah, that's covered. I think we went over that in Friday's show anyway. The next one was right here. We have Chargers Falcons. Chargers 20-17 over the Falcons. They had that late field goal. The Chargers have some problems here. Chargers have a decent amount of problems. They can't run the ball very well. Justin Herbert doesn't seem like to be that guy right now. He has a lot of talent, but he's not that guy. The defense just is playing bad right now. Asante Samuel's there. J.C. Jackson's out for the year, but when J.C. Jackson was in, it wasn't great. Chargers dealing with some injuries. I'm a little bit curious there. They did end up covering that spread, though, so I'm happy because the spread moved to -2.5. So this would have actually been a push, a.k.a. a tie. So we're going to go with that. Next one. We each said this was a should have been win for the Packers, and they end up losing to the Detroit Lions, who have the worst defense, and put up 9 points. I ripped on Aaron Rodgers before. I don't need to rip on him again, but this is bad for the Packers. Next one. Miami.
Dolphins, we got this right.
Miami, Chicago. We actually didn't get this one right.
No, we got the win right.
Oh, yeah, the win right, but not the spread.
Yeah.
It was a very, very close game. Justin Fields, he played a hell of a game. Over 170 yards rushing.
What was his passing? How many yards?
I think it was over 130. Nothing great, but we put up 170 rushing yards, 123 yards, 3 touchdowns, though. 106.7 passer rating. So it was, he's playing very well, Justin Fields, right now. I thought Justin Fields wasn't that great, but then all of a sudden against the Patriots, something clicked.
Yeah.
And he's been on a tear recently.
Yeah.
The only horrible loss was against the Cowboys. 49 points. The Bears defense just could not slow down.
The offense was okay.
The
they
offense
scored 29 points.
Yeah, it was great. What was his QBR for the? Yeah, I think he led the entire NFL in QBR. He had a 95.4 out of 100. That was Justin Fields' QBR.
Against which team? This past week?
Yeah, this week. He had a 95.4 QBR.
Wow.
Out of 100. Scale 0 to 100. Next game. How many double-digit leads are the Raiders going to blow? They were up, 10-0? Devontae Adams had a great game. 160 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. They've blown 3 double-digit leads this year. This game against the Jaguars, which me and you predicted because, we actually have a dealing with what's up. Josh McDaniels' job is apparently safe, according to the Raiders the Raiders owner. Why? What has he shown? All he's done is blow 10-point leads against Call of Duty, Kyler Murray. You were up 17-0 against the Chiefs and decided to go for 2. You need a point, and you decided to go for 2? That's bad coaching.
That was a mistake.
And then you lose to the Jaguars after having up 10-0. So we picked this one right. Jacksonville ended up actually being 2.5-point underdogs instead of 1.5-point underdogs. These were, I believe, Friday's spreads. Going to Sunday, which I have on my phone here, these are the updated spreads. So even though Jacksonville is still covered, and they did end up winning the game 27-20.
Yep.
Patriots.
Yay.
Dominated. The spread actually moved a point in favor of the Colts to only -4.5 for the Patriots on Sunday. The Patriots ran out, dominated 9 sacks in the game. Uche and Judon both had 3 sacks apiece for the Patriots.
25-3.
It was bad. It was very, very bad.
The Colts had 27 yards in the first half.
I think they had 121 total yards for the entire game. So it was bad. We can talk about the Colts and Frank Reich right here. Perfect setup for that. The Colts ended up firing Frank Reich, and I think they also fired their. It might not have been. Oh, it was the Panthers. I don't know why I'm talking about the Panthers here, but the Panthers fired a couple of defensive coaches as well. So the Panthers coaching system was just falling. But in this game, Frank Reich ended up getting fired. The center, I think he's like 6-time Pro Bowler. Jeff Saturday will be the interim head coach. Have we ever seen like an offensive lineman or like a position player, not like a quarterback or I don't even think a wide receiver.
It's not often.
I've never seen an offensive lineman, I think, as a head coach. Or even,
there
or even
have been.
considered.
There have been some.
Really?
It goes way back, though.
Okay.
Forrest Gregg was the head coach of Cincinnati. He used to be a lineman for the Green Bay Packers way back there.
Okay.
Yeah, but that does end. Art Shell was the coach of the Raiders for a while, and he was an offensive lineman. So it does happen, but not that often.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think the Colts could be saved somewhat, sort of pull their season back into respectableness?
I don't think so. But Frank Wright, he cooked his own goose. I think he benched Matt Ryan for the whole season, for the rest of the season. Why'd he do that? That doesn't make any sense. The guy Matt Ryan he's had a lot of success in the league in his career. He got off to a bad start. I think you might sit him down for a game or two, but you don't say he's benched for the whole year. And the guys who got behind him, they're nobody. This Ellinger guy, who the hell is he? I never heard of him before. Was he a high draft pick? Is he expected to be a great quarterback someday? He sure didn't show it on Sunday, although he was harassed every play almost.
He was a sixth-round pick.
Sixth-round pick. And the backup quarterback, that they had in there, I never heard of him. So I don't know why they, and then they lost so terribly. They played so poorly, and Ellinger played terrible. So I'm not surprised Wright got fired. He cooked his own goose. He should never have said to Matt Ryan is benched for the rest of the year.
He had some success, though, throughout his career, because in 2020 was Phillip Rivers.
He had decent, when he had Phillip Rivers, he did.
He went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He almost beat the Bills in the playoffs.
Yeah.
27-24. It's just that the Colts weren't, really up to par with what the Bills were at the time. Phillip Rivers, the Colts were 11-5 that year. Frank Reich, I believe, also coached Andrew Luck in his last year in 2018. Yeah. But that offensive line was horrible that year. There's the reason why Andrew Luck retired, was because the offensive line was getting beaten up.
Yeah.
And then goes out 7-9 the following year, then 11-5 with Phillip Rivers, and then 9-8, missed the playoffs, and then this year, 3-5-1, gets fired. Jeff Saturday's replacing him. So I don't know. I don't know if the Colts could be saved, but it'll be very interesting to see exactly what Jeff Saturday does for the Colts. Moving on to the next game, which is, I don't know why the graphic's so slow. We're gonna keep it going though. The next one was Buffalo Jets. We've already been on this. It was pretty bad. How badly the Bills lost. Sorry about that. The Bills they had to fix their running game. The Jets did cover an 11-point spread. Zach Wilson didn't play horribly. He only had 7 incompletions, 18 of 25. So it wasn't too bad. Next one. Baker Mayfield made an appearance. I was shocked.
He played pretty well.
After P.J. Walker puts up 30% completion percentage, 2 interceptions, Baker Mayfield comes out here. I think he throws 14 of 20 or 12 of 20.
14 of 20.
Two touchdowns.
Touchdown passes.
No interceptions.
Yeah. He's not going to start next week.
Apparently, he's not going to start next week, which I think is, not a good idea, because you're playing on a short week.
You know what? If Walker doesn't do well, he'll be yanked immediately.
Yeah, I agree with you, because P.J. Walker, I said P.J. Walker, right? He had 72% completion, but 73 if you round up. Completion percentage, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns no turnovers against the Bucs. Next 2 games, 52.7%. He did have 317 yards, a touchdown and a turnover against the Falcons, and lost. Then comes out here, 30% completion percentage, 9 yards, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Against the Bengals.
Yeah.
And then Baker Mayfield comes in, puts up decent stats, but I'm not going to read too much into that, because the Bengals defense just wasn't trying at that point. All the starters were essentially out of the game at that point. But hey, Baker Mayfield played well, and somehow he's not the starter this week. I think P.J. Walker may get pulled very soon if he can't play well.
Maybe they think Baker Mayfield will play better coming off the bench,
Maybe. The next one, which is a push, a.k.a. a tie when it comes to the point spread. The Vikings did get the 22-17 win. It was close. Taylor Heineke almost pulled it off. He had a little bit of black magic in that, but you know what?
He threw an interception that cost him in that game, right?
But, hey, Kirk Cousins was able to pull it off.
Vikings only lost 1 game.
Only 1 game. Leading the NFC North right now with a 7-1 record. They're impressive.
I think they've had a soft schedule, though, so far.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you. The only major competition was their loss against Philadelphia, where they didn't play too well, and Kirk Cousins did not play anywhere near his starting quarterback material. 3 interceptions that day. Next one, Seattle, Arizona, Call of Duty Kyler. He made another appearance this week. Seahawks were still +2 favorites entering Sunday, which blows my mind how they were still underdogs. But they ended up winning by 10, 31-21. Seahawks, I think, they're a legit team. Geno Smith is playing well. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker. My God, Kenneth Walker can run the football.
Kenneth Walker is a good player. He's a rookie, right?
Yeah, rookie running back. The Seahawks nailed on their draft picks, especially on the offensive line. So I was genuinely, I sort of expected this, but I was still impressed by the way they played.
Yeah.
Because the Cardinals kept it close through most of the game. I think they were leading 14-10 after I think it was a pick 6 by Geno Smith. So I don't know. The Seahawks are legit. They're facing the Bucks. I'm picking Seahawks +10. That point spread should move. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be.
I can't
lucky.
believe it's a 10 points.
I'm shocked. The next one was again another push. I picked the Rams +3. That was ended up being a tie because going into Sunday, the Bucks became favorites all of a sudden at -3 points. So good job for the Bucks. Tom Brady and that Bucks team may have gotten a little bit of their spark back. Like I said, the light is dim. It's not bright. It's not shining right now. Very, very dim because they got some sort of momentum going into the rest of the year. Munich, yeah.
Going into Munich.
Yeah. And then second to last, we got the Tennessee Titans. This point spread actually moved a whole point to make actually a point and a half. That the Titans on Sunday were +13.5 point underdogs and ended up covering that spread 20-17. We already talked about this game. The Chiefs should have won by 20, but for some reason the Titans showed up.
Yeah, they did.
And the Chiefs just could not really. They put up 41 minutes time of possession. You scored 17 points or 20 points, I guess, because including overtime. Embarrassing. This was an embarrassment. That's why I gave Mahomes a 6 out of 10 on the surprised impressed scale. And then finally, last night's game, Ravens Saints. The Saints, Andy Dalton. I don't know how long he's going to have left as a starting NFL quarterback.
I think that it's going to be Winston next game.
Probably. Ravens had a great rushing day. 175
yards. The Ravens
yards.
are good.
They are very good. They were able to actually put up points in the fourth quarter. They put up 10 points in the fourth quarter. The Saints. I said that defense might make it a stop on Lamar Jackson. They were able to put up only 2-3 sacks against Lamar Jackson. So not great, not terrible. But hey, Saints couldn't stop the run. Kenyon Drake 93 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Lamar 82 yards rushing, no touchdowns, but he also had 133 passing yards. So he had over 200 total yards and 1 touchdown. Hey, that tight end, though, led the team in catching with 1 catch for 24 yards and a touchdown. So the Ravens, I have question marks still about their passing game. But you know what? We'll have to see how much that truly affects them because they're still out here winning games.
I went 11-2 this week on my picks.
Really?
Yeah. How about you?
I didn't calculate, so I'll do it. But it's your turn to sort of break down the games.
All right. We just went through it. I made my comments.
Any more comments on any of the teams that you have?
I think the Ravens look very good. Lately they've come together. The few mistakes that Lamar Jackson made that cost him a couple of games there, those are not happening now. I think they look very tough. Kansas City's, I think they're a shoe-in the playoffs. I have them going to the Super Bowl. The Bucs, I think they're going to rebound. I think that game was a wake-up call and the spark for them. Seattle, I think they could be a playoff team. And if they are, I think Pete Carroll has a shot at being coach of the year. Whew. Right?
I still give it to Brian Dable.
We'll see how the Giants do. They still got a long way to go.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
And the Vikings are tough. They only lost 1 game. The Bengals are kind of bouncing back now. They should make the playoffs. The Bills, they're going to be I wouldn't want to be their opponent next week. I think they're going to come out. They're going to be really fired up for that game. The Patriots, they have a bye next week, and they got to win that game against the Jets on the following week. the Jaguars and the both those teams, and I don't think either team's really going much anywhere. Miami could be a playoff team. Green Bay's done, I think. The Lions are done. The Chargers, as we said, are kind of shaky. And the Falcons, they're a little bit of a surprise. They're competitive every week. The Eagles are undefeated. So.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk about this because Aaron Judge, of course, has not made his decision on what team he's going to. But
he's going where they gets the most money.
I mean, yeah, probably.
They all do.
Probably,
Every one of the baseball players, they all go where the most money is. They never give the home team discount, ever. I don't think I've ever seen that. Sometimes football players do it, but not the baseball players. They go for the big bucks, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So what are they saying about
Fox Sports 1 came out with their odds on what team Aaron Judge will most likely go to this upcoming season. Currently, Aaron Judge is 30 years old, played for the Yankees his entire MLB career. He just had a all-time year, 62 home runs, 133 runs scored, 131 RBIs, and the highest odds for the team to pick up Aaron Judge is the San Francisco Giants, followed by the Dodgers, Astros, Rangers, Red
Dodgers?
Sox, Phillies. The Dodgers at number 2, plus 350.
Where's he going to play? What position was he going to play if he goes to the Dodgers?
That's good.
DH?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, look at the Dodgers lineup. Where were they? They have Freddie Freeman,
Right.
Mookie Betts. They have Justin Turner.
They have Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, Gavin Lux, Trey Turner, Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Cody Bellinger, Mookie Betts, and Justin Turner. Justin Turner was their DH last year.
Wow. They get Aaron Judge. They'll win the home run, the total team home runs.
Maybe.
For sure.
They'll probably get rid of Chris Taylor. He didn't play that well this year. Left fielder. He batted .221, 43 RBIs, 10 home runs. But the Giants are the highest.
Plus
odds,
the Dodgers have a huge payroll already.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the Judge is going to get a lot of money.
The Yankees
doubt
aren't
about
even
that.
in the top 5, top 6.
Oh, yeah. They don't think he's going back there, huh? The Red Sox, they have the Red Sox.
The
up
Red
there?
Sox have the
Red
fifth
Sox are
highest odds.
not going to shell out that kind of money to get Aaron Judge. I guarantee it. That's not the kind of team they are now. They pick up all these guys that have had great seasons a while ago or had 1 or 2 great seasons, and now they haven't played that well, and then they pick them up hoping they'll rebound.
Yeah.
That's what their strategy's been. And paid off for them the year before last, but not this last year. Man, they were
as expected, I think it was yesterday, the day before, Xander Bogaerts did in fact opt out of his contract.
I'm not surprised.
6 years, $120 million. He's opting out of it. He will hit free agency along with Jacob deGrom. Also is about to hit free agency as well. So that'll be interesting. The Red Sox are still trying to get a deal done with Rafael Devers. We'll see if that happens. And then JD Martinez, I don't know what the hell's going to happen with him.
He's not going to play for the Red Sox next year.
So I'm surprised the Red Sox are this high up, though. They're plus 800 odds. Plus 100.
Who's ahead of them?
Rangers at plus 650, Houston Astros at plus 500, Dodgers plus 350, and Giants.
He might wind up in
plus 200.
Texas. He could wind up in Texas because they got Corey Seager and who's the second baseman there? Simeon, right?
Yeah, they spent a lot of money last year.
Big bucks. Those 2 guys, and they didn't do squat. So they need another piece, and I bet they'll make a play for Aaron Judge.
I wouldn't be too surprised, but I don't think Judge is going to go back to the Yankees. I said this from the beginning.
The fans will be they'll be ballistic about that. The fan will be all over them about that, right?
Yeah.
For being cheap.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of years Judge will get because he is 30 years old.
I'm going 6 years.
6 years, you think? Yeah. Well, if it was a 6-year deal, the Yankees might try to get in on that, right?
I don't think Judge would take it because I just think another team would probably offer
How many
him.
much per year do you think he's going to get then in a 6-year deal?
I might be looking at hold on. I can look up the highest MLB because I don't want to be absolutely explosive here. Highest MLB contract was Julio Rodriguez this past year, 13 years, $210 million. That was the highest.
Who is he? I don't even know who he is.
Mariners
Mariners,
center
yeah.
fielder. Then Fernando Tatis, 14 years, $340 million. Mookie Betts, 12 years, $365. Wander Franco, 11 years, $182. I'm probably gonna look at 6 years, $150 million. Maybe
I bet he
170.
gets more than that.
Maybe 170.
I bet he gets more than that.
Because Wander Franco, 11 years, 182.
That's a deal.
He's a young
he's
player.
like a young player.
He's a young
And he got hurt this last year.
He did.
He didn't play that much.
We're talking about a 30-year-old, though.
Judge will be looking for $35 million a year, I think. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. I think he'll be looking for something like that, right?
Let's see.
Yeah.
So you're thinking $210 million for 6 years. Let's
Yeah.
just say it's a 6-year deal.
Something like that, yeah.
Jeez. If he gets that, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he.
That's what he's looking for, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure people.
I think
anyone would love
he's
6
good
years,
chance he'll be
210
productive for 6 years. I think he'll be very productive for 6 years.
Really.
At 30 years old, he just had the best year in the American League anybody ever had. Did he win the Triple Crown?
I think he may have.
He
Yeah.
won the batting average,
Let's see.
RBIs, and home runs.
Because
I
I
know
know.
he had the RBIs and home runs. I don't know about the average.
Because I remember. I think Bogarts was close to him on
Yeah, but
batting average.
he faded at the end. He didn't.
So then probably yes, he did have it then.
I thought there was one other player that had a average that was up there too.
Oh, here we go. Arias. I'm not familiar with him. Let's see what he got. Because he was the one that was close. He had a higher batting average.
Yeah.
He had a 316. Aaron Judge had a 311.
So
Nope.
he didn't get it.
No, he did not.
Pretty close though.
Yeah, he was very, very close.
I don't think he'll have another year like that ever.
No.
You know, you just don't have those years every year. That's for sure. But he'll have some good years.
Although
He's still got
Judge
some good years
Judge
left.
did have
Plus,
another year with
he's
52 home
He's a
runs.
fan favorite too. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, no, he is a very nice
nice
guy.
yeah.
He had 52 home runs his sophomore year in the MLB though. His first actually full year. He played 27 games his rookie year in 2016. Comes in 2017, 52 home runs, 120 runs, and
I'll
114
tell you what,
RBIs.
the Red Sox wind up with him. The Yankees fans will be ballistic.
Oh yeah, no, it would be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he did say he loved playing at Fenway. One of the games he was playing the
He
Red
plays
Sox.
well at Fenway too.
Yeah,
But I don't see the Red Sox shelling out that kind of money.
I agree with you. His projections for next year, no matter what team he plays for, he's going to bat 288, have 41 homers, 99 RBIs. That's his projection according to BaseballReference.com. So, hey, could you see him bat almost 300, put 41 home runs right after hitting 62?
Oh,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That is nuts. But hey, I mean, do you think Aaron Judge can even have a year close to this? Like we're talking about like 40. Do you think Aaron Judge can have 40 home runs next year?
Oh yeah. I think he'll have multiple seasons where he gets 40 home runs.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would probably see high to mid 30s.
He just hit 62 home runs.
Right, but he also had 52.
He had a year with 52.
Yeah, but then
So
then guess
hitting
what?
40 is not that hard if you have 2 years where you had 62 and 50.
Well, this
52.
year was his first year above 40 since hitting 52. Because the last year he had
What did he
39.
have? 39.
Last year, 39.
Okay,
I was like,
39.
hey, it's not
Come on.
40 on a technicality.
Yeah, well,
It's not 40.
one home run. Come on. Yeah.
So, hey, what do you think though? If you were to take a prediction right now, as of November 8th, as these odds were released today, November 8th, 2022, who's Aaron Judge going to be on next year?
I say the Giants. I think the Giants
Really?
is probably a pretty good
So you're backing down
shot
from the
because
Rangers.
They probably have room in their payroll for him.
You're backing down from the Rangers though.
No, I think the Rangers will make a good play for him too. But I think the Giants, because they've had some good seasons recently, and they didn't do well last year. They need a spark, somebody to pick them up there. And Judge is a big name, and they probably got the money to be able to do it. So I'm predicting the Giants 6 years, $210 million.
If I was more familiar with the Astros payroll was, I may pick them.
Why would they pick him? Why would they need him? They just won the World Series.
Why the Dodgers just won the World Series and they stockpiled on talent? Why would they just pick up Freddie Freeman after Freddie Freeman won the World Series? So
I don't know. I don't think Houston needs him.
You think the? I mean, I guess.
Why would Houston mix up the formula they have? Their formula is working good. I would just hang on to the players they've got.
That's true. That's true. You're probably right about that.
Who do you think Jacob deGrom's going to?
I mean, Jacob deGrom. Hey,
He's an injury prone.
Yes. That's why I think he might not get a deal that he's looking for.
And he's getting older too.
I was just about to say he's up there. He's 34 years old. He's gonna hit 35 next year. He's projected next year to, let's see if I have the ERA here. He's projected strikeouts per 9 innings, 11.8, which is ridiculous. He's supposed to have a 2.85 ERA, go 7-5 win-loss.
Yeah, well,
ratio.
hopefully he starts at least 25 or 30 games.
I don't think so.
I don't see it either. He gets hurt.
I don't think it's anywhere near that. But I do want to conclude.
Who do you think he's going to, though?
I wonder if there's
I bet he
odds.
gets a pretty big contract.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll get a pretty big contract.
Here we go. Bookies.com. I'm not familiar with it. They also released their odds. When was this written? Yesterday. According to this, the New York Mets are still favored to pick them up. It goes Mets, Dodgers, Cardinals, Rangers, Yankees, Padres, Astros, Red Sox, the field.
I don't see the Red Sox picking him up.
The Red Sox are bottom in these odds with plus 1,200.
The Red Sox prefer having a...
They need pitching, though.
They're pitching from a flea market. They get their pitching in a flea market.
The Mets are plus 350, 23.5 implied probability. To conclude the Harvey Hour, I want to do our Thursday night predictions for the NFL. Atlanta at Carolina. Carolina are underdogs at home, plus 1.5. Who do you have going this Thursday?
Atlanta at Carolina.
Atlanta at Carolina. Atlanta's favored, minus 1.5.
I'll take Atlanta. And I think the point spread's okay.
Well, it would be difficult to for the Panthers to cover a plus 1.5 and still lose. I want to just look up one thing with Carolina, and then I will make my predictions. Their rushing defense is 28th. I'll agree with you. Atlanta minus 1.5. Scoreline. What do you think for the scoreline? They had to win by 2 or more.
24-20.
I'm going with 28-21. I think Atlanta goes out to. I mean, the last game they played, though, it was 37-34. Overtime. DJ Moore could have sealed the win for them if he didn't take his helmet off in the end zone. So
that's so stupid that he did that.
Yeah. I'm going 28-21. Atlanta does win. They get their revenge on the Panthers. Or no, they win again versus the Panthers. You say 24-20. That does conclude the Harvey Hour for today. Hopefully we'll have everything sorted out for Friday's episode of the Harvey Hour. But for this one, big week ahead. We get make our predictions next on Friday.
Hopefully we get our technology back.
Yeah.
So we have our graphics.
Yeah. Hopefully everything's in order by Friday. But for this episode of the Harvey Hour, we will conclude. My name's Nathan Harvey. That's my dad, Stephen Harvey. Follow us on TikTok I think I have the graphic here. Here we go. At the Harvey Hour on TikTok, at Nathan T. Harvey 1 on Twitter for all the updates on the Harvey Hour and other things like that. But as always, my name is Nathan Harvey. That's my dad, Stevie Harvey. We are the Harvey Hour. We will catch you guys Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on